I'm back from the courthouse. I saw David. You probably saw my earlier video breaking down what went down. I was in court, literally sat a couple of chairs behind the man himself. Okay, it was creepy. There was a dark energy in that room. A lot of people said it too. And I've got a bunch of updates for you. So you probably already saw in my last video, okay, the big update from today. And the big news, really, the main thing that everyone's focused on is this report. I heard it from the horse's mouth myself, all right? No disrespect. Shout out to Beth Silverman. She basically laid it out in court. She said that there are illegal videos, images. So look, a trigger warning. In this video, we are going to be discussing some very dark themes. We're going to be discussing illegal videos, crimes against young people. I feel like I've got to be really careful what I say, but essentially just a trigger warning because we're going to be talking about this and I'm going to have to get into it, okay? He's got adult videos on his phone pertaining to minors. Could be Celeste, could be other people. There's been rumors of other victims, and it is very, very dark. So obviously I heard that fresh in court. I literally heard it with my own ears. It was actually surreal. I can't lie to you. It was surreal. But we've kind of got shout out to the real journalists that were in the room, okay? There was a whole media section, all right? There was some real journalists in there, not us YouTube goofballs, all right? But Megan Cuniff was there, and she gave a breakdown on her ex. And obviously, she basically had the full breakdown of exactly what was said. So to be honest, I was so overwhelmed by the experience, I probably can't remember exactly what was said. I wasn't taking notes. I was just in the public section. I wasn't in the press section. I wasn't allowed my laptop, any of that stuff. But basically, this is got sort of a recap from Megan Cuniff, basically breaking down the whole situation and how it all went down. So let's have a look. And just warning, there's going to be some triggering themes in this video. All right, this is for documentary purposes, journalistic purposes. Yeah, so you've been warned. All right. So basically, Beth Silverman was leading in there. Okay, they set the preliminary hearing for May the 1st. David would be back in court on Wednesday, April 29th, to discuss how much discovery has been obtained and whether the prelim will proceed. And this is the part that was big, all right? It said a prosecutor said that they found a significant amount of C to the P on his iCloud. As you can see, I don't even want to say it. It's actually sickening to even think that this is a thing. It says the police got a court-authorized wiretap, I think, last year as part of the investigation. Now, I don't remember her saying that. I feel like I would have remembered that. Maybe she said that slipped me by. I had assumed it was during that period because they said we haven't received anything from the wiretap. It's something that will take time to produce. But they said the reason it would be taking time to produce is because they've basically got to have someone else externally check that he's not having privileged conversations with his attorney. So that makes me think it's likely that his phone was bugged. And it makes me think that chances are, soon after the body was found and it was identified as David's car, they probably did tap his phone and they've got all of his communications. And there's so much, they haven't even gone through it yet. So they've already arrested him and they haven't even got to all of that info yet. Okay. This was the scene outside. I was there, people. I was there. I don't think I'm in this picture. I didn't even flick up, but you know, I did that video that I posted for you guys. I'll definitely go back. I'm not sure what dates I'll go back for yet, but I will definitely be going back and reporting everything to you guys. And it was a learning curve for me. Going to the court, I was a little bit overwhelmed. It was crazy. I didn't know how to navigate the court. I know what's going on in the courthouse now, okay? So I can pull up. You might see me at the Dirk trial. You might see me at the Nick Reiner trial. I'm good in the criminal justice center now, people. So it's big news. All right. I was actually gassed. It was a crazy day. But anyway, Judge Olamido begun with courtroom rules. No more than 2 attorneys. I remember all of this. This is kind of like a full breakdown of everything, so not all of this is relevant. No Google glasses. I didn't have my Ray-Bans on or anything like that. Okay, I'd have been in big trouble. But I was right there, right next to David. It was crazy. Okay, if I could have had a camera, you'd have seen he was right in front, like right in front of me. It was crazy, and he didn't look. I wanted to try and catch his eye. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to just look him in the eyes and see what this fool's really on. But he didn't look at the crowd. He was too shook. Anyway, okay. They're basically going through all the prelim. There's so much discovery. Okay, they can't even expect full discovery. They're just asking for basic summaries of at least the evidence that the DA would actually be using at trial. And as I said in my previous video, LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, they've been trying to upload the entire file dump. It's so big. For a whole month, they've been uploading and only 30% has been uploaded. They need to get themselves a fiber optic 5 gig connection by the sounds of it. It sounds like I could upload it quicker than them. But terabytes, I've never tried to upload a terabyte, so that is a lot. But it said Silverman said it was David's iPhone, not his iCloud, So the iCloud is obviously his digital account where, you know, you take pictures, they go up in the cloud. But it said specifically his iPhone itself, the internal memory of the iPhone has a significant amount of the C word followed by the P word. And under the law, that stuff cannot be retained without there being certain orders in place, okay? So they basically said there's a whole process. We can't even keep hold of this stuff. This evidence is so disgusting that we literally need to have it needs to be completely segregated into like a special computer where nobody can take anything away so that they can actually look at it. It's funny because this is actually wrong. David's lawyers, oh no, my bad. So David's lawyers had already given a 1 terabyte drive that Silverman said they'll return with some discovery, but they said they need a drive of at least 10 terabytes on it. Literally, they need it was very theatrical. It was really interesting because it was like, Beth Silverman saying, look, there's so much memory, all this stuff. We've only had a 1 terabyte drive. We've got 40. We've only uploaded like 8 terabytes. And then during the proceedings, it was like very theatrical. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Blair Burke pulls out a hard drive and says, well, here's a 5 terabyte Lacey drive for you to put some files on. And then Beth Silverman like scoffs and is just like, that ain't nearly enough. 5 terabytes ain't nothing. And also, this hard drive isn't sealed. Where's the sticker on this? This ain't going to run. So it was super theatrical, man. It was actually crazy to even just witness these sorts of exchanges going on between lawyers. And David's just sat there the whole time, just motionless. This was interesting. Not a lot of people have picked up on this, but it said, and I actually forgot to even say this in my last video. It said that there was body-worn video, so police body cam video. Oh my God, we're going to get the David body cam. Don't tease me. And then it says they've got DNA trace evidence. Now, I thought it was interesting when I read the medical report, and it said that they actually swabbed for DNA on the zippers and the handles of the body bag that the body was found in. And they cut those handles off, and then they individually marked each one of the handles and the zippers. They cut it off. They specifically preserved it, and they were swabbing those for DNA. That says DNA trace evidence. I don't know. This is me speculating my opinion, but I think that DNA trace evidence could well be from the handles of the body bag. And if they got David's DNA on that, bro. All right. And then it says photographs from the serving of search warrants, the whole search warrants, everything that was found in the searches. And they basically said, we're going to turn all this over as soon as possible. That's the stuff that we basically are going to be using against you. It's going to be bad. This was interesting. I forgot about this. They did say in court, they said they've had 3 grand juries convening. And they basically said one grand jury was in November, another was in December, and another in February. So they've been through the process 3 whole times. And they basically said that the defense hadn't yet received the transcripts from all of the grand jury proceedings. And the grand jury proceedings, Beth Silverman said specifically, the purpose of the grand jury was to look at the evidence. It wasn't necessarily to raise an indictment. And she basically was like, grand jury did what they're supposed to do, basically. She hit the Pee Wee Roscoe. She said, they did what they're supposed to do. They put together all the evidence. And I'm fairly certain there was a little moment where the defense was like, we haven't been given the discovery we've asked for. And then Beth Silverman was like, well, you haven't actually formally requested the transcripts from the grand jury yet anyway. So you talking about you ain't got it, you ain't asked for it. It was very theatrical. So they would basically go on. They said there's a predicament that David's in, basically. It says, the predicament of, on the one hand, you want a speedy trial, but on the other hand, you need discovery time, and there's so much information to get through. They got to try and strike a balance. Do they really want David to be sitting there for years waiting to find out what's going on, like Y&W Melly? Or do they want to say, well, look, we're going to need to skip over some of this stuff because we're going to need to take this to trial and at least just look at what you're going to use and then just agree on that? They said it's a Hobson choice. I guess that's what they called. It's still a choice to make. And she basically even said, like, yo, next time you have your court hearing, it was 8:30 sharp, all right? And I'll keep it real with you guys. I'm not used to getting up at no 8:30. I'm not used to being no way, let alone getting up at no 8:30. I'm sorry, all right? I'm a night owl. But they literally said to David, like, you look, even the judge was like, look, I like running my shit at 8:30. I don't like being late. I don't like starting late. If you're going to be late, you better let us know because we start at 8:30 sharp. And she said, the judge was basically like, I like to go home and kick it and chill in the afternoons. So, yeah, we're going to need everyone here early. And they said, David, we're going to be hauling you up out of your cell super early in the morning because there's hella different transport going on. And basically, we may get you up really early, right? They're going to be waking up David in a cold sweat, probably like 4 a.m., hauling him onto a bus. He said, you're very important you make that early morning bus. It may mean you're in the building for a bit. So David's going to be kicking it in the back of the courthouse for hours, waiting to get cooked, waiting for his breakfast to be cooked. And he's on the menu. So anyway, all right, this has been reported. I'm going to try and be careful about what I say, but this is going crazy on TMZ. I heard it raw in the court. All right. So I already knew this. I knew this before everybody. Anyway, obviously it said prosecutors said David's phone is chock full. I don't remember them saying chock full. That's a bit of a TMZ-ism there of illegal videos. I'm going with illegal videos. I think that's a better way of saying it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there was a courtroom sketch artist in there. I was sat like right here. They could have got me in there. That was him. I didn't really see where the courtroom sketch artist was, but it was interesting because there was a guy there that was actually able to make a case to the judge and basically said, can we have cameras in here and broadcast like the OJ case? And the judge said, hell no, courtroom sketch artist does the job. We're not having no cameras in here. But it was weird because that first, there was 5 minutes of footage that came out from that first one, but maybe that's why no cameras were allowed. Maybe that wasn't supposed to come out. But anyway, we're hearing about the wiretap. It said David was shackled and wore an orange jumpsuit. Calm, cool, collected, looked kind of bored. He spoke briefly to the judge, telling her, yes, ma'am. All right, so look, we don't need TMZ no more if you got your boy Trap Law Ross in the courthouse. But anyway, high-powered defense team. I didn't think Blair Burke was looking too high-powered. She was looking tired. Beth Silverman was on point, though. She was looking like she was fresh off of Addy. That's just a joke. Anyway, a lot was revealed, okay? Now, what's really interesting, now that the illegal videos information has now come out, people are going back and looking at this. This is a blind item. Back in September, I believe there was another one in October. And blind items are like, I guess it's like these little celebrity gossip things that get put around online. And it's like, you know, you don't know if it's true. It's just gossip. It's just a little string of text. But this is going around. It says, the Dead in the Front rapper bragged about how he had hundreds of hours of P-word that he recorded with A minors. Okay. Blind Item is a website where gossip is posted. The person in charge provides information and later reveals the person involved. So they don't say who it is. But there's been a few of these blind items going around that people think allegedly is relating to David. And, you know, this was an allegation made. And it turns out that could well be true. I mean, talking about hundreds of hours, bragging about hundreds of hours, okay? It says if this is NT, then he's not very enthusiastic with blind items. He makes things up or regurgitates gossip. Anyway, okay, this had gone around a few places. And there'd been a few. Says it looks like the video rapper is going to get away with murdering the girl and all other things he did to her, which he filmed and live streamed. So the rapper with the video player type initials was not only running a string of underage girls, shouldn't I say that, filming them too, but the buzz is that the girl died during the making of a movie where a person ends up dead. And it says there are at least 4 other teens that are dead that used to hook up with the video rapper. Were they making snuff films? That one's crazy. No way. No way. It said the fact that these blind items have been dropping before the past week's events unraveled, this is darker than what I think anyone anticipated. I'm not going to shrug these blind items off just because the case has revolved around so much things being sprinkled all over the internet by David himself. I don't put it past someone in his circle who strayed dropping these blind items. I think everything for now has a level of truth to it when it comes to these items. He was saying, you know, I'm no longer going to shrug this stuff off like I've done in the past. My mind goes back to the post of the Gemini AI description of something. Both posts on it were removed for, I guess, being too far out of the realm of speculation. We now have the medical examiner's report, and yeah, what was posted in their tracks. It does make me wonder what else will be discovered during the trial. It says 4 other teens that are dead. Said this site may sometimes get things right and that gives it credibility, but it's been wrong many, many times. It's important to filter out the noise from the reliable sources. So people are asking if they're trustworthy. 4 others, it's actually crazy, okay? But anyway, there's been reaction all over Reddit, beyond the David subreddits, as far as this this revelation that his phone was just full of illegal videos, okay? People saying it's a significant amount. This correlates with Zerks telling me last year that David was visited by cops in September. They took his phones and gave one back that's monitored. Wow. So they might have actually... So it says in September. I wonder whether that was before or after the alleged murder. It says, I wonder if LA County will charge him for the illegal videos or if the feds are going to get involved. This says feds. A formal federal prosecutor said on CBS LA that the feds would be getting involved in that case. It says, oh, that sounds amazing. The feds don't mess around with illegal videos. Okay, that's generally a Fed charge, either receipt of illegal videos if he downloaded it, possession if they can't prove he downloaded it or it came from, or production if he made and filmed himself with his victims. It says the Fed should too. He's been doing this sick stuff for years, even before moving to California, allegedly, according to a comment. And it says, not surprised, he was always on Discord prior to 2025, and there are so many servers that are infamous for connecting PDFs to illegal video channels. Also, maybe that blind item was correct in that he's produced illegal videos with young'uns. Says, I believe it. The REM, remember the live where he said, I media trained you. This was after she said about young'uns. This is also the very reason that they had no business in any type of relationship. Her mind was not mature enough to fully understand what she was involved with and who he really was and what it looks like on the outside. It was too many people that knew and didn't do nothing. I can look in her face and see she was a child. I'm wondering if this is content with himself and young'uns recorded or videos downloaded from the dark web or both. So sick either way. God. People are saying probably videos of him with Celeste plus lewd photos he accumulated from young fans willing to do anything to get his attention. I wouldn't be surprised if he found some shit from the dark web because didn't they say he was obsessed with gore and stuff? Says low-key, maybe I watch too many criminal shows, but I don't. But don't people like this escalate into murder gradually? For all we know, there's just a trail of awful history in addition to illegal videos left prior to this single event that brought everything to light. Sure, he's stupid as fuck. We know this already. But how many people could just go on about their day for months without at least showing some sort of discomfort, stress, or fear if he was even if he was exposed to gore prior? The only question is how many images and pictures of him are with Celeste and how many other people. It could all be Celeste. It would still be bad, if not worse, since apparently there's a significant amount of it. No way to defend that unless you're a PDF. All right. So it's been going around a few different subreddits. All right. A few different subreddits been talking about that. Yeah, you get the gist. All right. And then talking about the blind item, saying he was bragging. This is apparently a post from David's Discord, 2023. I think this would actually be before he would have met Celeste. It says, I'm so serious, bro. My girls my age are not very smart. Now we know when the DA said they have evidence of the SA charges, not surprised this deep shit done horrible things to her. And now this. Jesus Christ. Okay. So this is going viral in live stream fails. So yeah, we saw previously David has been banned from Twitch now, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was planning to Twitch anytime soon. But yeah, this is an update from there. This is going super viral. It's got 600 comments. So it's always who you most expect. It's exactly who you would expect. Self-snitching. Out of control. I know it's evil either way, but I'm wondering if this was all photos of the victim or if he was legit hoarding a ton of illegal videos from online. So I'm shocked I say the adult grooming and murdering a child had illegal videos. Get out here. No, it couldn't be him. Excuse we know what that's all about. All right. I'm starting to think this David guy is bad news. All right. The man in a relationship with a 13-year-old. I never would have thought. Terabytes. Make him the president immediately. So we can't do that. We can't do that. We trying to stay good in the courthouse. This is the Playboy Carti subreddit. This is going super viral over there, right? It said water found in the ocean. All right. Hey, who's the girl? You are a fed. Do you remember this? Remember this? I don't actually think that was the Celeste. I think that was another person. But yeah, so creepy. All right. Crazy how seemingly normal people can be so full of evil. Air found in the sky. Death penalty ain't enough for this dude, man. Fork found in kitchen. I don't know why that makes me laugh, man. Breaking news. All right. So look, shout out to SF Investigates. I see him in the courtroom today, but he was a little too far away. I was going to go say hello to him, and then the trial just kicked off straight away, and then I didn't catch him afterwards. But shout out to SF. I want to catch up with SF in person. Next time I go to the courthouse, I'm definitely trying to link up with my guy SF and find out what these investigations are saying, okay? He gave his update. Said the David preliminary hearing has been continued until May the 1st. Matters of procedural importance were discussed today, mostly about transferring discovery from the DA's office to the defense. Items of interest that came up include that David's devices contained a significant amount of illegal videos, which require special handling. Also, there's a large amount of data from a wiretap. Search warrants will be unsealed. New search warrants from devices at the time of his arrest have not had returns yet. David did not look confident in court today, in my opinion. He was in an orange jumpsuit and just stared forward. All right. So look, that was SF giving his comment. Wiretap, they're saying he's screwed. He's cooked from the wiretap, okay? So this little update, people are still sick to their stomach, okay? Yeah. I think we done talking about that now, okay? I'm done talking about this particular aspect of it. It's gross. Awful. Okay. There's a few other things I want to update you guys on. I'm going to do in different videos. I want to update you on some things about the prison conditions that David's currently living in. And I want to update you on some new timelines that people have put out now that all of this information and evidence has come out. And it paints a picture that's just even more detailed and disgusting than we could have imagined. So I'll keep you guys updated in the next video. Thank you for watching and thank you for all your support. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. I'm out.